And we're back with our first in-depth review of a Hot Wheels case in quite some time. Really good one to start out with here, the 2023 N case. If you do keep track of the new releases in each case, you'll notice right off the bat that something looks a little bit odd. That's because I found the N case before I found the M case. And these are all cars that I picked up from the N case. But the left side here are all new castings for the N case. These were all actually available first in the M case. But since I bought them all together, that's what we're going to take a look at. Some really nice castings here. So let's just go ahead and get right into it. Before we get started, let me know in the comments what your favorite casting is from this case. And here we go. 89 Mazda Savannah RX-7. I have a feeling this might be a favorite for a lot of you. Really nice details here on the turn signals. Really nice casting overall, really. We've already had this in green, but this black just looks really good. Nice wheel choice here, I think. Really good detail on the tail lights. Just a very solid casting overall. I could definitely see this being a fan favorite. 88 Honda CRX. We've already had this one in gray. Again, a fairly detailed casting, although it is missing a few details on, maybe the headlights, things like that. I think they could have went with a better wheel choice here. This, I get why they did it. It just doesn't really do anything for me on this casting. And I like the color. Interior, not a whole lot to say about that. You'll hear me probably repeat a lot. Most of the interiors on these cars, as I was looking through them, they're simple, they're clean. And there's just not a whole lot else to say about it. That's probably a good thing, I guess. But details on the taillights here, not too bad. I don't know. I think I like the gray version of this just a little bit better. And like I said, definitely for me, probably could have done something just a little bit different with the wheels. Porsche 928S Safari. Really, I was looking forward to this one. We already basically have this in a Matchbox, but definitely stoked to see this in Hot Wheels. Would love to see this in a premium sometime. Have, quite a bit of detail up here as far as the headlamps. Wish they'd have done something with the actual headlights since they went to the trouble. Side is definitely where they spent most of the detail and attention here. A lot of tampos. Really good detail, though. I think it looks really nice. And, the 75th badging here for the 75th anniversary. Nice wheel choice. Definitely fits in with the theme. Kind of a sucker for this style of car anyway. Up top, quite a bit of detail here. Again, I think this would be nice in a premium or maybe even an RLC where you have kind of some more paint or something up here. Because it's cool, but, I guess when you're seeing all this on the side, this is just a little bit plain up here with no color. Interior, same as what we said earlier. Pretty cool spare tire back there. And decent detail on the back. So overall, really solid casting. Definitely happy to have that. Bugatti Bolide. Hot Wheels Exotics. This is definitely exotic. Sometimes I could take or leave the Bugattis. But this one is excellent. Kind of puts you in mind, especially on the rear end of a Zonda. But really love the color choice they went with here. Not a lot to speak of on the interior, once again. But, man, just look at this car. And really, with it being black and kind of my lighting, it's hard to see the details. This body is very detailed. Excellent wheel choice here. I can't say a whole lot else about it. Very detailed. Just an awesome looking exotic car. Maybe one of my favorites of this case, or my favorite of the case, 62 Corvette. Love the execution on this one. It's kind of like just a almost blacked out, really metallic, like a charcoal black paint. Headlight detail looks like they've just put lens covers on it. The grille looks nice. Racing stripes look great. Really cool interior choice here, I think. It definitely pops, but it's not like just out of place. Nice detail on the badging here. Hot Wheels logo. Good wheel choice here. Normally I would think maybe that's a little bit plain for something, but it definitely fits this theme. Rear end, the bumper looks good. Taillights, again, kind of looks like a blacked out version of the taillights. So overall, really solid casting. Definitely love the execution on this one. Porsche 935. I know a lot of people were also hyped for this. Of course, this would be available in the Super Treasure Hunt. Unfortunately, all I've found so far is the main line of this, but as main lines go, this is a really nice looking casting. The paint itself, honestly, I mean, it's Spectraflame-like. It looks really great. Nice detail on the tampos here. Of course, we have some badging, some livery. 75th badging on the side. Nice wheel choice for this car. Not a lot of details on the back, but there's not supposed to be. Really, not a whole lot else to say about it, just other than it kind of speaks for itself. It's just a really nice, solid casting. Very popular car. Ford Bronco R. This is the first time we've had this in a mainline, and it looks really good. For some reason, I don't know if it actually does or if it just looks this way. Kind of looks like it sets a little bit lower than some of the other ones I've seen. But overall, again, just a nice casting here. Pretty good detail on the front, even though there's really no headlight detail as far as paint or tampos. Still looks good. Decals here, just the overall livery is nice. Of course, it's Borla. Hard to beat that, especially with something like this. Black and red paint scheme. Nice detail up top here. Again, we've seen this in the premium already. Nice wheel choice. Pretty good detail on the back. Here's kind of a sleeper for me. I've heard a lot of people talk about this one, and I wasn't really interested in it until I seen it. This is a super awesome casting, so we're going to take just a second and look at this a little bit closer. Custom 68 Camaro. A lot of people might kind of poo-poo at the way that they styled this, I guess. But look at the detail on the front end of this. I know it's all chrome, but man, just a lot of detail. Nice hood scoop. Of course, we have some engine detail sticking out the side there. You know, nice use of the tampos. Really good color here too, just on the body overall. That kind of a flat blue. Have a header sticking out here. Excellent wheel choice. Kind of gives you almost Mad Max vibes. Interior, not a lot to say there once again, but just nice, well executed. A lot of detail on the rear end. Maybe if I was going to change anything, that might be it, but I think it's perfect for the aesthetic. You know, I'm not going to lie. So overall, just a really cool looking car, and definitely ended up being one of my favorites of this case. 20 Dodge Charger Hellcat, almost said Challenger. Really nice looking casting here. The paint, metallic purple, really nice. Racing stripes, have some gold pinstripe in there that adds a lot of detail to it. Just a really good casting overall. Nice color on the wheels. Wheel choice, I'm just not sure. I mean, it's a mainline, so I don't really like getting too bent out of shape over wheel choice sometimes. But I think with all the other choices that we do have, and me being used to seeing some of the options we have available in premium, these just look a little off sometimes, maybe a little bit too big. It's hard to put my finger on, but you know, it's not just really off-putting, but if I could change one thing, that might be it. Overall, though, a nice casting. This one could probably stand a little bit of detail on the rear end. You know, some cars that makes a bigger difference than others, but overall not bad, especially with all the other detail we have here. Going to the start of the ones that we could have found in the M case, we have the Rimac Nevera. Really nice looking car here. We've had this in blue already, and you know, overall I think there's really nice body lines on this car. It really reminds me of a Lotus. Again, the wheels, not bad, but maybe a little bit oversized. I will say these are probably some of the nicer headlights I've seen that are tampos in quite some time. Really good detail there, and with the badging. Interior, you can't see a whole lot of it because of the way it's set up. Decent job with the wing here. Nice looking rear end with the you know, minute details on the tail lights, which you know really is pretty accurate. But overall, just a really solid casting. Mercedes 89 Benz 560 SEC AMG. We've had this one in black already. Really awesome. Was one of my favorite newer castings there for a while. I think the execution on this car is just so great because this isn't something that I'd normally be interested in, but they've just done such a good job with the execution on these cars that it has piqued my interest. Nice wheel choice. Great color, I think, for this. Interior is pretty nice. Really good details on the rear end with the badging, tail lights, license plate. Just a solid car. 18 Dodge Challenger SRT Demon. This one is really kind of subdued. It almost gives you Ghost Flame vibes, although the tampos aren't like ghosted. It's just the color choice. Really excellent here. And these wheels, I swear, especially in this light, these wheels look awesome. I don't think you could have picked a better set of wheels for this car. Details up front, you know, sparing a little bit of paint on the headlights, still looks really good, especially just for the overall style of this vehicle. The body lines, I think the casting itself is really nice. Interior looks good. I love the added touch of the red details here, and I know it's supposed to be that way, but man, just really kind of pops that it's just itty bitty, just, you know, here and there, very subtle. And, you know, nice detail on the rear end. Again, could maybe use some taillights, but I don't think it detracts as much from this casting as it does from some of the other ones, especially with the overall aesthetic that we have here. 2024 GMC Hummer EV. I'll admit this isn't one of my favorite castings, and this one's cool because it's from the Barbie movie. You know, love or hate the Barbie movie, I'm kind of a sucker for screen time stuff and first time castings that are accurate from movies. We've had a couple of other versions of this, and I think the white version definitely pops more than any of the other ones. But really, I think this is possibly the worst looking version of this for me. Again, as the other ones, there's nice details up front and on the rear, you know, for the lights. Wheel choice is pretty good. Again, I like it for what it is, but just as a standalone vehicle and, you know, design, I'm not real crazy about it. A lot of you may feel differently, but that's just kind of my opinion on it. Not a whole lot else to say about the casting. 20 Toyota Tacoma. I believe this is the first time we've had this one this year. Of course, it was a new casting last year, if I remember correctly. Looks very clean and white. One nice added touch I'll go ahead and mention before I forget, these fender flares being black. You know, that's a very minor detail that they really could have left out that definitely makes this thing pop and could kind of be easily missed. Front end, very nice and detailed, as are all the other versions of this truck. Rear end as well. Nice wheel choice. You know, I like the added anodized blue. Kind of wish it popped a little bit more, but I like the idea of it. Have the raised badging here. So I think this one's going to be pretty popular again. It's a really clean version of that casting. 2018 Honda Civic Type R. A lot of people, you know, there's a lot of Civic fans out there. I think this casting is probably one of the least favorite out of those. And it's understandable. You know, it's one of the more new castings. It kind of goes away from the older style of the Civics. But either way, it's still a Honda, still a Civic. It's still going to have a fan base. Front end looks really good on this car. A lot of people could probably take or leave or take the police badging. You know, my little boy would like this just because he likes these odd police cars. Kind of odd that it's that and it doesn't have a light bar. You know, whatever. Rear end, this is one of those cars. I've noticed the compacts seem to be worse than the other ones, but they really suffer from lack of detail on the rear end. You know, could have used some taillight paint, I think. Ford Focus is another one that kind of puts me in mind of, you know, needing something there on the back just to kind of tie it together. 73 Jeep J10. Wasn't too crazy about this one. I thought it was a neat idea when I first saw that it was coming out, but when I actually saw the casting, I don't know, there's just something about it that just didn't, I was kind of underwhelmed. Now that I actually have it in hand, it's nicer than I thought it was going to be, so I guess I've been back and forth. Paint's really nice, kind of like a metallic orange. I'm a sucker for a Hot Wheels badging on anything anyway, so I like that. Pretty decent detail up front, and although this light bar kind of looks odd the way they've designed it, still nice that it's there. Other thing, I kind of wish maybe they could have done a different color on the roll cage. But again, it's a Mainline, and with the way they designed it, that's kind of the way it had to be. Pretty nice detail with the cooling system down there. Wheel choice, not too bad. Rear end, not a lot to say there. You got your spare tires, kind of standard fare. You know, if you didn't see the front of it, didn't know it was a Jeep, you would think it was any other Baja truck. So, kind of take that for what it is. I think hardcore Jeep fans are really going to like it, though. Last and probably least, because it's a small car, 76 Chevy Chevette. Really enjoy this casting. I think they did a good job with it. Not a lot of detail on the front and the back as far as color, but it's a drag car, so you don't really need it. Nice hood scoop they've added here. And just overall, I like the theme of it. Normally, I don't like two different style wheels on the front and back, but this one I don't mind so bad. Really nice deco here. So overall, I think this is just a really good, solid casting. So again, let me know what your favorite casting is. I'm going to pick a few of my favorites to leave you with. Like I said, possibly this one here. Really love the execution on that. think these are two that I really didn't expect to like as much as I did, but I absolutely love them. And this one here is kind of just the epitome of Hot Wheels, really. I really enjoyed that. And let's see, I think I'll go with this Porsche here. Just really well executed once again. This one I was excited for, but now that I see it, it's not that I'm underwhelmed. I think it's just missing just a little something for me. But overall, just a really nice case. Some really cool cars available here. Hope y'all are able to pick some up. If you liked seeing these cars, YouTube should be showing you another video that it thinks you might like. Please be sure to check that out. If you haven't already, consider hitting that subscribe button. We're really close to hitting our goal of 1,000 subscribers. And coming into the holiday season, I hope to have a lot of really awesome videos coming up for you guys. Hope everybody's having a good week. Happy hunting, y'all.